welcome to the Strip Down to Love podcast video where the essence of love comes from within. I am your host, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here with me and listening to the Strip Down to Love podcast video in this very moment. I appreciate it so much. I just want to say that the birds outside just got fed, so you may be hearing them throughout the podcast video, and I guess they're really happy. So we'll just hear happy birds in the background for a little bit. As always, to start, I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Imagine the softest white light coming down and embracing your body. Take another deep breath in and out. You can pause here and do this practice as many times as you need to and continue when you are ready. Now that you have done this, I want you to say, I'm here to just be. I'm here to remember. I am safe and I am ready to continue. I urge you to remember that you are an investment. By investing and sharing with you, I invest in myself, and we together give back to humanity. You deserve to remember and really enjoy life. So let's strip down to love. Today is Strip Down to Love Showcasing Anxiety Edition. Today, we will discuss in detail types of anxiety, what it feels like, signs to know when it's coming on, discuss ways to placate anxiety, and we'll discuss why anxiety is special. What is anxiety? The literal definition of anxiety is a feeling of impending doom, coupled with continuous thoughts of heightened apprehension. These heightened thoughts of apprehension then in turn swirl around and around in your head, creating what I like to call many starting lines, many starting points, where you put one foot forward and then back, and then down another pathway, you put one foot forward and then back. Now you are left with too many options, many pathways. It's overwhelming to say the least. Physical signs of anxiety: sweaty palms, racing heartbeat, increased respirations, jittery movements, and maybe spontaneous movements where you're not even thinking about what you're doing. You're just tossing and turning or walking back and forth in your house or when you're laying down in your bed. Right? And creating, a place or an inability to sleep, like a mortar and pestle that is churning and churning and churning, and you can't get out of it. Tense shoulder muscles, and maybe your jaw is constantly clenched. There are chemical changes that occur in your body when you do have anxiety. So chemicals in your body, namely serotonin, norepinephrine, and GABA, are responsible for mood, alertness, and down signaling chemical cascades in your body at that time. And these chemicals are most imbalanced when you have anxiety. The energy description of anxiety. Anxiety stems from fear. I can describe it as a quivering type of energy, nails on a chalkboard type of energy. You want to run from the sound, but you're encased in a room. An ice cold metal type of energy flowing through your body, constantly with the nails on the chalkboard scratching in the background. Bunch that all together and create pressure on your chest. That's how I like to describe anxiety. It's a vibration that causes you to be consumed and do nothing really productive. But as we go along in the podcast video, I'll continually say that anxiety is trying to tell you something. Your body is trying to tell you something through anxiety. Let's move on to types of anxiety. Paralyzing anxiety. Anxiety can be so bad where you are paralyzed. All you can do is lay down or sit in a chair and maybe stare up at the ceiling, and your breathing is very slow, respirations very shallow. A time when you feel like you're trapped in your body. Your body is a tomb and you can't do anything but be stuck there. Functioning anxiety. Functioning anxiety is where you are doing many things at once, or walking around in your home moving things, not really thinking about the task at hand, except what your body is doing, and coupled with those ruminating thoughts, right? And my heart is beating fast, my legs feel really shaky, I need to move. At this point in time, your body is doing what your brain is telling you to do, but you and your thoughts are somewhere else, trying to work through the disruptive thoughts that were created. Nothing wrong with that. That just means you're sorting through things, right? I find functioning anxiety as a tiny bit more dangerous in the fact that you could be driving and anxiety hits you. When that happens, your body goes into fight or flight mode, tunnel vision. You are unaware of the dangers that are on the road or unable to choose the best route for yourself. Remember, you are driving driving a car and with other humans and cars on the road. So call yourself back to yourself in that moment in time. Where can anxiety stem from? Pain, trauma, fear. 1. It can stem from engaging in or being a part of a stressful, traumatic situation. 2. It can stem from having and holding the residue from the stressful situation that compiles on top of other stressful situations, a cumulative effect. 3. Fear of the unknown, of maybe getting things wrong or not hitting the mark. All fear wants you to do is answer it, and soon here you will be able to do that. You will learn ways to address it. 4. You are currently in a situation that you are debating on its benefits versus risks, coupled with time. You are in the middle of a situation that is taking up all of your time, and you feel like you don't have to sit down, or you don't have time to sit down and look at the bigger picture. I urge you to take time and to fall into the big picture so that you can absorb the information that's placed there for you by the universe. When you are very busy having tunnel vision, you may miss a small detail that could allow you to tackle the situation in the smart way. If you are unable to see the bigger picture, it means you may be caught up in many details, entangled in the details. Some details are just static background to distract you from the bigger picture. I know the above statement may be sort of contraindicating, but when you pan out or take a look at the bigger picture, you increase your comprehension level, shut off all of the background noise, then that is when you are able to find the pertinent information in anxiety or that situation that is causing you anxiety. Your body is asking you to slow down. It doesn't mean slow down and think about the negative. It's asking you to slow down and ground. Anchor, stand in your conviction and current goals you have for yourself. One can't ground themselves if they are constantly rushing around, doing nothing at all, but creating many what-if scenarios. Anxiety is productive in the fact that it is like an alarm bell. Let me check in with myself sort of alarm. How are you doing? Anxiety asks. What can I help you with? What hurdle can we jump today? but one may only find solace if they slow down and pan out of the situation. Pan out and then dive inward. Fine-tune and tweak the situation by going inward. I want to express to you that panning out and running away are two different things. Maybe you are wondering if you are making the right decision. Anxiety also causes us to become flustered in the fact that it implants fear into future events, which did not even happen yet. Which is okay because it allows us to be proactive. Again, take note of it and pan out. Don't get so caught up in the details where you create self-sabotaging behaviors / scenarios. For example, if you are gearing up to do a job interview, research the company. Ask yourself, what questions can they potentially ask me? How do I showcase my skills and allow the questions to level into you? Write out the questions and practice them with someone or out loud. No need to sit there in fear and create what-if scenarios. Because you practiced, you are already seasoned because you have practiced. I understand there are always going to be nervousness because we are human, and when we want something to work out, we can't help but think about it, right? So that is okay. There's no problem with that. What is anxiety trying to tell you? So anxiety is trying to tell you something, believe it or not, like I had said before. The energy of anxiety is trying to raise your vibration from the cyclical thoughts of fear, pain, or trauma. But why, you may ask? Why do you have anxiety? Are you afraid of something or that it may not work out? And all the time that you spent doing it may be for naught? Why would you think of the bad? Go back to the time when you thought about an idea or starting a project or a business. Go back to that time and write down all of the feel-good feelings that came from starting the idea. For example, I had a small juice business. I love fresh made juice. Anybody who knows me knows that I love juice. And I used a slow macerating juicer, by the way, not a cold press, and that was just for personal preference. When I first started drinking fresh juice, I felt invigorated. All of the natural antioxidants, sugar, and elements readily available there for your body to absorb. It is and was so yummy. When my life was changing, I had to put the business on the back burner. I slowly realized that my current lifestyle that I had would not be able to accommodate the juice business, and it would be way more work than I actually had time for now that my life was changing. Also, being in the food industry is a lot of work, and I know that. So I give mad props to all of the people in the food industry. But I also know that being in the food industry is such a good way to be creative, and you are essentially showing the world your skills and your talent and co-creating, creating things for people to enjoy and to feel good about. So I took the lessons I learned from that particular time in my life and learned from the do's and don'ts. All in all, I do not regret starting it, nor do I regret ending it, because when you start something, the knowledge and energy is still very present. It doesn't disappear. I was so excited, and the quality was so good that I wanted to share it with the world, you know? So because I think everyone deserves liquid love, and I wanted to share this abundance with people, and to help people energize their bodies. Some days I observe the history I had with the business, I miss it, and energetically send it love. because it was a practice run and I learned so much. It brought me around to feeling confident and showed me my capabilities. Being around juice and making it for others helped me internally as well, because when you're making things for other people, especially food, you don't want to be applying anxiety, or you just want to be putting really good energy into the food, right? So other people can have a glimpse at the reasons why you started it, and people will be able to feel it as well, believe it or not. So yeah, so I had to center myself, pay attention to what I was doing, and imagine how happy people would be when they received their juice. Going back to the knowledge is power episode, I took the knowledge from that specific juice business, whether the good or the bad, and applied it to my current goals today in the here and now. Place anxiety, the situation, in front of you. Like, here I am, and situation, here you are. What are you trying to tell me? What is causing me anxiety? Place it up front and center. Then you will be able to shave off the background noise and pull the pertinent information from that situation. Write down the first thing that comes to mind when you ask the situation what it's trying to tell you. I do want to say, if it doesn't feel right and maybe you're too raw or too anxious at that time to perform this specific practice, then it's totally okay. You can always come back to it later. Things to do when you feel anxious. 1. Send yourself love. If you did not watch the love episodes, the opening meditation helps to anchor you into the earth in love. 2. Trust that everything will work out for your highest good. 3. Sit down with anxiety and the situation. Place it up front and center. 4. Pan out of the situation and then go inward. Doing this vibrates the answers within you to flow. 5. No reason to go down the road of negativity. Rise above the situation. 6. Be gentle to yourself. No beating yourself up. Beating yourself up is not allowed here in the Strip Down to Love video. You can be vulnerable. This is a place for you to just be. Whatever you're feeling, bring it here. This is a safe place for you to sort and work through feelings. 7. Moreover, now ask yourself, why do I have anxiety? I know that anxiety stems from fear, trauma, or pain. So what is it? Then ask yourself again, why am I fearful? Remember now, it's a feeling that will eloquently turn into words. Feel first, then create a formula from it. Feeling is the first ingredient to any situation. 8. Ask the universe, what do I do next? Anxiety, like I said, is a check-in alarm, but used too often can be used as a crutch or an excuse in order to not do things on your to-do list. There are many layers and levels to spirit work. So in this next scenario, let's think of life as a big cake with many layers. So cake is the first level, the icing is the anxiety level, and the cake that is on top of it is the next level to your life, to an upgrade. So all right, so in this scenario, life equals cake, cake equals life, okay? So anxiety is the icing that separates the layers, the levels. if you get caught up in the anxiety rather than addressing what is causing you anxiety, it will be, or maybe take a little bit longer to get to the next layer of cake, the next level of your life, right? Okay, so ask yourself, what are you fearful of next? Why, when you feel like you're caught up in the icing, right, and you're trying to get to the next level, so what are you fearful of next? Why are you fearful? These two things are most likely the easiest things to answer, but you need not stop there. Ask yourself, why is this scenario causing me fear or grief? So each step is allowing you to level into the icing of anxiety so that the next level of your life, or the next gummy, sugary level, which is the cake, will be available for you. Until you address it, you may not be able to get to the next yummy, sugary layer. So sometimes when I'm having anxiety, I ask myself these questions. And sometimes I don't come up with an answer, which is actually the correct answer, because the anxiety and the what if scenarios that were created actually had no basis for even being created in the first place, right? So, and I was just going down a deeper hole of many what if scenarios. Once you do this, watch how anxiety dissipates and you feel lighter when you ask yourself why. Addressing it allows you to level into that specific icing layer, and so that you can gear up and you can move into the next level, like I spoke about earlier. So it's very exciting. Anxiety, and that was the part where I did want to let you know that anxiety doesn't have to be labeled as negative. You can look at it as special, because you're swimming in yummy icing and getting ready to get to the next layer of cake. So what am I trying to say? I don't think that you truly want to deter yourself from being the best you can be in this lifetime, in the here and now. And it is okay to swim in anxiety. It's okay, because again, anxiety is a check-in alarm, and it does want to help you to get to that next level. And we all love upgrades, right? And going through upgrades, spiritual upgrades, are not always the easiest. And like I said from episode 1, the journey back to your heart is not always easy. But just think of it as something yummy that you can tackle and you can take in and move on. So let's breathe. That was a lot of information. I know that. And I thank you so much for being here with me and being an advocate for yourself and being a champion of your life. And you know, I'm so proud. I am really proud of each and every one of you who are listening and who is absorbing this information. And even if you're just here, just being, that is amazing. I am energetically hugging you right now. So now that the Strip Down to Love podcast video has come to an end, I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Seal up all of that information that you learned here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video. Take another deep breath in and out. I want you to remember you are valued and you are an investment. Your success is so very important to me. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video. Until next time.